folks, well, October is nearing its end. That can only mean one thing. Children will be picking out costumes, pumpkins will be carved, and spooky decorations will abound. Why, even here at the Four-Kolor Kitty headquarters, we're getting into the spirit of things. So, turn the lights down low, lock the doors, and don't go into the basement alone, because it's time for a haunting Halloween episode of Four-Kolor Kitty. Welcome, mortals, to a Halloween edition of the Four-Kolor Kitty. This time, we'll be looking at an oft-overlooked enemy of Batman. He is the master of fear, the lord of terror, the sultan of scares. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Scarecrow.
I could while away the hours, conferring with the flowers, consulting with the rain.
No, not that Scarecrow.
Scarecrow, Scarecrow, the soldiers of the king fear his name.
Not that one either. Now you're just being silly. Finally. Now then, you may know this character from the Challenge of the Super Friends show, where he was a member of the Legion of Doom. In more recent times, he was a major character in the movie Batman Begins. However, this opponent of the Caped Crusader first appeared in World's Finest Comics number 3 in the fall of 1941. He, of course, has undergone a few changes since then, but in nearly all of his comic book incarnations, he was originally known simply as Dr. Jonathan Crane, a professor of psychology who specialized in phobias and fears. However, he was a bit too obsessed with fear. He was shunned and mocked by his peers, and when he fired a gun in a classroom full of students to illustrate a point, he was quickly fired. Got the feeling that this guy isn't quite the criminal mastermind some other supervillains are? However, Dr. Crane has already used his knowledge of fear to turn to crime, to both gain wealth and power for himself, and to gain his revenge on those who scorned him. Given his long, lanky appearance, which along with his last name is a nod to Ichabod Crane of Sleepy Hollow, as well as his desire to terrorize his victims, he dubs himself the Scarecrow. At first, he simply used his expert knowledge of how to induce fear in his targets. Later, he armed himself with a special fear toxin, which he could use as a gas, a liquid, or even a powder. It causes the victim to hallucinate about his or her deepest fear. Crime fighters being a superstitious and cowardly lot. No, wait, that's not right. This would work out well if he wasn't plying his criminal trade in Gotham City. This means he has to deal time and time again with the Batman. Let's see. Using fear toxin on a man who regularly stares down the likes of, the Joker. It's things like this that keep Scarecrow from usually making it to the top of the Batman villains lists. In more recent times, he was temporarily transformed into something called the Scarebeast. This was done by one of the Scarecrow's assistants under the direction of the Penguin. With enhanced strength, claws, and the ability to release an even more powerful version of his fear toxin, he was able to even force Batman to retreat for a time. However, he was transformed back to his normal human form after being defeated yet again. Well, back to scaring folks the old-fashioned way. He was nearly inducted into the Sinestro Corps, the evil opposite of the Green Lanterns, due to his ability to cause great fear in others. Fortunately, 2 of Earth's Green Lanterns intercepted the yellow power ring before he got it. As much as I'm picking on the Scarecrow, I have to confess, I think if he'd gotten a hold of the Sinestro ring, he would have been a major threat. Considering that he is a professor of psychology and an expert in phobias in particular, I imagine he could have come up with some real terrors if he had gotten the chance. The Scarecrow also was transformed into a being called Shuraken in Superman Batman number 37 by Darkseid and his scientific genius, Desaad. However, once again, Batman takes him down, even easier than when he was Scare Beast. When will this fear-wielding criminal next appear? Who can say? But when he does, you can be sure his victims won't soon forget the terror he brings. So, dear souls, we will close this episode of the Four-Kolor Kitty. If there's a comic book question you wish us to scare up an answer to, or have a frighteningly good idea for a topic, please let us know. Until next time, this is Patrick Black for Four-Kolor Kitty. I'll see you in the funny pages, and Happy Halloween!